Hi, and welcome to another episode of Hot Takes with me, the Silver Fox. Now, I gave a heads up for this video in the previous one when we were looking at the threat that cutting police numbers and resources represents to the people of Scotland. And yesterday, of course, I did the video where the SNP, were rejecting lie detector tests because they don't want certain people to be still seen as a threat even after they've been in prison for doing terrible things. And how some people are being released from prison, tested and going, all right, you're still a danger, and straight back in. And they don't want that either because they don't want certain people to be in prison. They want them out there in the streets at the same time as they're cutting police numbers. But of course, you have the third in this triumvirate now. So no lie detector tests, cut police numbers, and now they don't want to be able to scan immigrants to see if they are children like they claim, or if there just happens to be 34-year-old men who are coming over all alone pretending to be children, and it's odd that it all seems to be men of a certain fighting age. But we'll have a look at this to see why, yet again, the Scottish Government is rejecting things that could ensure the safety of Scottish people in favour of others coming here who have the intent to do harm. Here goes. So, Scottish Government slam plan to use MRI scanners to guess the age of children seeking asylum. So once again, you have this government, the SNP, led by Humza Yousaf, who don't want scanners used on asylum, people coming in who then claim to be children. And then they put the scan on, they can look at this, they can look at all sorts of things that happen only after certain ages. And they can say, no, you're not a child, and out you go again, or you get put there and you're not a child and they've no obligation to look after you. Why is Humza Yousaf particularly against this? Why does he not want the truth to be known? Why does he not want to protect people from potential people who would do them harm? Why is he so eager to bring in all these unfettered immigrants from places unknown with agendas unknown and over whom there's no control? Why is he so eager for this? Is it because, in his words, Scotland is too white and not of a certain persuasion enough that they can possibly take over at some point? Obviously, there's an agenda. We can't have, in the words, what is it? Once is happenstance. Okay, no lie detectors. Twice is coincidence. No lie detectors and let's cut police budgets. But 3 times is enemy action. So no lie detectors, cut police budgets, and now let's not have an MRI scanner to see the age of these people coming in. It's enemy action, surely, isn't it? You can't keep doing things like this and think people won't notice. Anyway, the Scottish Government has accused the Home Office of using children as pawns in a culture war over controversial plans to use MRI scanners to determine the age of asylum seekers. Now, you got it wrong way round. We're not using children as pawns, we're using grown adults of fighting age who are coming in alone and en masse. As in, they're not bringing their families, but they're just coming in. Like an invasion. It is an invasion that's coming in, only this time it's not all done in one go on the shores of France. It's drip, 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 slow, secret invasion over time of men of fighting age from a certain culture, and a culture that's alien to ours. And he doesn't want this stopped. He doesn't want these people to be checked. He doesn't want the truth to be known. We've seen all these things. We have to ask, why is he so against any form of control anywhere? What's wrong with him? Well, we know, don't we? We know what this is. Anyway, Natalie Donn, the Minister for Children, said the proposals put forward by the UK government were incompatible with progressive, inclusive values of the people in Scotland. I believe you need to ask the people of Scotland if they want anyone coming into the country to be safe, secure, and not represent a threat. Also, you need to know who they are, where they're from, what their history is. Are they mentally ill? Are they psychopathic? Are they war criminals? Are they people who are over here to do them harm? These aren't unreasonable questions, surely. And if you're ignoring them, then it means that you also are very dangerous if you're siding with these people. Anyway, the Home Office said the use of medical tests was necessary to remove incentives for adults to pretend to be children in order to remain in the UK. I don't even think we should allow children to remain. We should go, yes, you're a child, and take the child back and give it to the country they came from. Now, if they're coming from France, France is a safe country. You can't have asylum from France. So why are we letting them in? No, you've just come from France. France is safe. You go back to France. You make your new life in France. We can't take you anymore. You are safe in France. You cannot grant asylum from a safe state. And if you want to say, if France wants to say it's not a safe state, that's up to France to say. But, we can't accept that. Unless there is, of course, an agenda. And, of course, in some people's cases, for example, Humza Yousaf, I think there's definitely an agenda. He's had his orders, from the guys down the road, the bendy over, kiss the ground guys. That's why he's not standing up for it. Anyway, Immigration Minister Robert Jenrick confirmed the plans to use X-rays of teeth, hands and wrists and MRI scans of knees and collarbones to determine the age of asylum seekers last month as part of the Illegal Migration Act 2023. Can we stop calling it migration? That indicates it's two ways. It's immigration. I know some people think immigration seems a bit off, but I don't care. It is definitely immigration. Under the new laws, anyone who refuses an age assessment will have this counted against them when their asylum claims are processed even. If you refuse to be tested, you're deemed an adult and you're sent on your way back straight away. We need to start doing this. We need to have a border force worthy of the name. The United States Coast Guard, for example, is actually an armed force. It isn't a bunch of sad people who like wearing a uniform who go and just help people illegally enter the country. So why not make it the same here? And anyone crossing on any illegal means is turned around and pushed back. Australia did it. Australia was getting massive problems and then they just turned them back. They put their navy out and pushed the boats back continually. And then it stopped. And that's what we need. Anyway, according to Home Office figures between January 16 and June 23, of the 30,000 asylum applications made by unaccompanied under 18s, age was disputed in about half of them, with over 5,500 found to be adults. There are fears from some refugee charities that scans can only give a possible range rather than an exact age. Well, even so, it's closer and better than nothing. They worry that the dire consequences of an incorrect age assessment could lead to minors running away from care settings rather than taking the risk. Oh, well, never mind. The Human Rights Network said it ultimately could force the children into harmful, exploitative situations. Well, perhaps if they're dangerous here, we need to send them somewhere safe, back where they were. Both the Society of Radiographers and the Royal College of Paediatrics and Child Health have also criticised these measures. Put them out of a job. Fire them. Straight away. Bang. Fire them. Don't want a job? Bang. Done. Come find another job. In a letter to Mr Jenrick, Ms Don says the Scottish Government is deeply troubled by the Home Office's pursuit of this policy because she doesn't want to protect the people of Scotland from those who would do it harm. You have to ask why this agenda of deliberately putting the people of Scotland in harm's way by not knowing who or what is coming into the country. Why are they deliberately looking to harm the people of Scotland with this? Why are they not thinking my number one priority is security and safety of Scottish citizens? It's because they have an agenda and they're following the Muslim in chief. Ms Don said in Scotland there had been cases of young people presenting to local authorities having been incorrectly age assessed via a brief inquiry at the port of entry and subsequently placed in adult asylum accommodation. If only there was some means of double checking their age, perhaps by using some kind of MRI scanner. Oh no, she doesn't like that idea. She told the Herald on Sunday the Scottish Government is fundamentally opposed to the safety and security of people. It's fundamentally opposed to these controversial plans. They're not controversial. They're only controversial to those who don't want to protect the people. That's the only people who find this controversial. I bet if you ask the 99% of the people would say yes, scan every single one, and then turn them all back. If you're coming in illegally from a safe country, you have to ask why. And why is it always single men of fighting age? Weird, isn't it? Anyway, the UK government is using children who've already suffered incredible trauma. There's no evidence of that they've suffered trauma. These are generally economic migrants, not traumatic migrants. And they've come through many safe countries, and if they were that traumatised and they just wanted safety, they could have stayed in any of the safe countries that they've gone through to get here. So it must be the point of getting here that's the target, in which case, economic. So it's not traumatic at all. Again, lies. Deliberate lies from the SNP. Who would have thought it? And there you go. And that's it. I'm just going to stop there because it's just so obvious that these people have an agenda that isn't for the benefit of the people of this country. They're dangerous. You need to stop voting for them because otherwise you will find yourself a minority in your own country. And when you are in that minority, in that position, you'll find out that minority rights, they're kind of not cared about. I'm going to come up. So there we are. You have to ask all the SNP, whenever you come across anyone from the SNP, ask them the question, why are they so reticent about protecting the people of Scotland? Why are they so eager to allow in all these immigrants who they don't know who they are, they don't know where they're from, they don't know their age? Why are they so desperate to do this? What is wrong with protecting people? What is wrong with saving the people from potential attacks? They don't like it, do they? They don't like the thought of protecting people because they want to look virtuous while at the same time tying a noose around everybody's neck. Because one day there will be an attack and we know where it's going to come from. We know every time because they're the only ones that do. I'll stop there. Thank you very much for watching. I hope that this has been illuminating and do seriously give serious thought to why the SNP hates you so much. Thank you and goodbye.